speaking of beauty, when I see these videos of the singles for the album, absolutely amazing. Own Light, you come down over this green mountains and you're sitting in the mountains, and then it shows the ocean. And then when we look at Never Learn and you're in the mosque in New Mexico and the beauty and this the fire behind you, you guys really set out to the expression is levels of the visuals and the music and everything. Talk about the experience making these videos, man.
Yeah, man. Well, the idea is that beauty communicates truth. Beauty is the outward manifestation of truth. And when we talk about, outward beauty is a reflection of inward beauty. So when you say, somebody says Peter Parker is a beautiful person, they're talking about your pretty eyes and all that, but really they're talking about your heart and like your virtue.
Most
so
definitely.
like the outward beauty is a reflection of virtue. And what beauty does when it's natural, especially like the beauty of creation, is it speaks to the soul and it soothes the soul and it pulls the soul gently towards the truth that it's communicating. So, you talk about, if you look at like these old writers like Thoreau and Whitman and all these people,
Yeah.
or if you look at, you talk to like the First Nations, elders and their spiritual people, these people know that like being in nature and the beauty of that it has an impact on a person, and it heals you. And there's something unspoken about that you can't necessarily quantify. Also the same is true with, so like when you see in the Never Learn video, that Adobe mosque,
Yes.
traditional societies, they knew that nature was the real beauty. So when they built a building, if they say like, we have to have a building for this purpose, whether it's a school or a mosque or homes or whatever.
Yeah.
But we know that God's creation is the most beautiful thing that there is.
Yeah.
So we're not going to interrupt it. And anytime that we have to build a building, it's going to be in harmony with nature. So that mosque is built so that when you look at the mountains in the background, it's complementary.
It definitely is.
The mosque complements the mountains.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What the modern world has done is to try to remove all of that. And it's for a very specific reason. It goes along with propaganda. It goes along with totalitarian government. And that's what I'm saying. So like working on the spiritual stuff, it doesn't at all take you out of being a revolutionary and a freedom fighter.
Yeah.
It actually means that this will be something that will emanate from the core of who I am as I'm struggling to get it right. And if I'm only struggling to get the outside world right, but I don't have a system, a lot of people don't like organized religion, and I totally understand that. I get when people are atheists. I get when people want to be spiritual.
Yeah.
They don't like organized religion. I get it. I've had an experience with Islam that makes me know that to me this is true. But not everybody's articulation of Islam, it rings true to me.
Right.
But these things are absolutely connected, and there has to be a system to do it, and there has to be elders and guides that basically say this is where you are, because otherwise it's our own ego making up our own spirituality.
It's hard to navigate.
Yeah, there's no way, because I'm limited. We're all limited in our scope and what we're able to really perceive, especially in ourselves.
Yeah.
The thing we know least about is ourselves. And so, basically you have this situation where these people who are creating these totalitarian governments, they have propaganda that's absolutely necessary where they flood us completely so that everything we're taking in was made by some human being who's cooked in the pot of modernity, of white supremacy, of, anti-woman, of, hyper individualism and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah, man.
So basically everything we see is created by some person who had this idea. They block the sky with these buildings.
Right.
They block the sky with billboards. They block our silence by constantly pushing content at us all the time. And so for me, the idea is to just to reset. And so I'm not really in the videos a whole lot. Like I'm in them.
Yeah, but the scenery is the star.
That's the star. And then in the Never Learn video, the dancers Iman and
Beautiful.
Khadija,
Yeah.
and they're like dear family friends to me. I'm close with their mom. So
Yeah.
they're my nieces in that sense,
Yeah.
So basically allowing, and what they do speaks of natural beauty. Their dance is, it speaks of their own regality and their own royalty and their own dignity.
Yeah,
that
man.
they know a dignity that a human being has. They know a power that a woman has. And the way that they dance is it's very beautiful, and it's also very majestic at the same time.
It's crazy.
And so so that's the idea. It's I'm just reflecting these things right now. I'm trying not to speak from my, and I'm not even trying. I'm not entertained by speaking from myself much right now.
Yeah.
What's really got me excited is all of this stuff, and so all of that is in the music.
It's beautiful, and I can really hear the journey you've been on, and it's like you said, it's constant reflection, and you're just embarking on it. But I feel like it's an elevated sense, and it's amazing to hear you talk like this, man.